The best things to do in Bali include not to be missed cultural treasures and some of the most iconic landmarks and landscapes that you can find around this magical island. There are innumerable temples, historical sites, and spots of natural beauty spread across Bali's 8 regencies, which were formerly kingdoms. This compilation of great things to see and do in Bali will help you discover the best the island has to offer. Go east to see the majestic Mother Temple and magnificent royal water palaces, or travel to the island's lush interior where rice paddies offer scenic photo opportunities. Did we miss anything? Let us know in the comments below. Here are our top things to do in Bali. Tanah Lot Temple. Pura Tanah Lot is among the island's most iconic temples, positioned on top of a rock and surrounded by the waves of the open sea that constantly crash against its base. The temple is scenic by day against the blue ocean and sky, but the scene is most dramatic during sunsets, with its silhouette creating one of Bali's picture postcard images. Tanah Lot pays homage to the guardian spirits of the sea, and it's also among Bali's key sea temples. The onshore side is dotted with smaller shrines and visitors' leisure facilities such as shops, a cultural park where regular dance performances are shown regularly, restaurants where you can enjoy a sunset dinner with the memorable view. Uluwatu Temple. Uluwatu is one of Bali's most important sea temples, positioned on a tall cliff edge on the island's southwestern Bukit Peninsula. By day, you can take in the picturesque seascape from over the temple's walls and cliff borders, and occasionally spot gray long-tailed macaques that inhabit the surrounding forests. In the late afternoon, you can wait for the dramatic sunsets, or book early for a spot at the open-air amphitheater nearby, where catch-a-fire dances are performed with the sunset and ocean as an exotic backdrop. The waves below the cliff and the temple are hailed as among Bali's best and internationally known surf spots. Besakih Temple. Besakih Temple, the Mother Temple of Bali, sits on the southwestern slope of Mount Agung, Bali's tallest peak. Besakih is the largest of all temple complexes in Bali, comprising 18 separate sanctuaries that each belong to different caste groups. They surround a central complex with 3 main temples that are dedicated to the Hindu Trinity. The best visiting times are in the early mornings and in the evenings, when the temple complex is much quieter. Pura Ulun Danu Bratan. The 17th century Pura Ulun Danu Bratan is one of Bali's most picturesque temple complexes. It sits on a small island along the western shore of Lake Bratan, in the cool highlands of central Bali. Lake Bratan is one of Bali's main sources of irrigation and drinking water, and the temple complex is dedicated to Dewi Danu, goddess of the sea and lakes. The best time to visit this sacred Hindu temple complex is early in the day, before the tourist buses arrive. The temple is especially picturesque in the soft morning light, when cool mist sometimes cloaks the lake and the mountains beyond. Mount Batur. Every day in Bali's pre-dawn darkness, hundreds of visitors begin the trek up the 1,700-meter summit of Mount Batur. Once at the top, they watch the sunrise above the lush mosaic of mist-shrouded mountains. This sacred active volcano lies in Bali's central highlands, about an hour's drive from Ubud. The hike, along well-marked trails, is relatively easy and usually takes about 2 to 3 hours. Guided treks typically include a picnic breakfast, with eggs cooked by the steam from the active volcano. On a clear day, the views are spectacular, stretching all the way across the surrounding mountain range and beautiful Lake Batur. Sturdy hiking shoes are essential, and it's advisable to wear layers, as the temperature can be cool before sunrise. You can also combine a trip here with a visit to one of Bali's most important temples, Pura Ulun Danu Batur, on the lake's northwest shore, and a therapeutic soak in hot springs at the beautiful village of Toyabunka on the banks of Lake Batur. Another great tour is the sunrise hike and a visit to natural hot springs to relax after the climb. You can find the link to the tour in the description. Tirta Empul Temple. Dating from around 960 CE, Tirta Empul Temple in the lush tropical forest of central Bali, offers a glimpse into a sacred purification ritual. This important temple complex, a national cultural heritage site, is divided into 3 courtyards. The focal point is the large, rectangular pool, fed by a holy mountain spring, where locals come to pray and soak in the healing waters that gush from a series of sculpted spouts. If you wish to join the locals in the cleansing ritual, it's best to ask an experienced guide first to make sure you respect the customs. You must enter the water fully clothed, wearing a sarong and sash, and it's best to explore the temple complex first, as you are not allowed to drip water in the courtyards. Tegalalang Rice Terraces. Nestled in the verdant valleys of Bali, Tegalalang Rice Terrace is one of the most popular attractions in Ubud thanks to its photogenic ambience. Located barely 20 minutes north of Ubud, the rice fields are easily accessible with either a taxi or a rented bike/scooter. The terraces are hard to miss as they're right beside the Ubud-Kintamani Road. Although the iconic rice paddies are a top tourist destination, Tegalalang gives a glimpse into the traditional Balinese irrigation system that supports the livelihood of the locals to this very day. Most tour groups from Ubud visit between mid and late mornings. If you're doing a solo visit and not with a tour group, the best time to visit would be in the early morning hours. Alternatively, stop by in the late afternoon when the crowd has trailed off and the temperatures are relatively lower. If you are on a tight schedule, there is a great day trip to visit the rice terraces, temples and the volcano. The link is in the description. Take a dip in Bali's most breathtaking infinity pools. There really is nothing quite as breathtaking as that first glimpse of a glittering infinity pool in Bali. That double-take moment where you have to squint and check that the sky hasn't actually melted into a horizon of aquamarine ripples. Well, whether you're looking for the ultimate infinity pools in Bali to really knock your sandals off or you simply want to up your Instagram feed with 50 shades of blue, you can check the link to see the most amazing places that will take your breath away. Sekumpul Waterfalls. Sekumpul Waterfall is considered by many to be Bali's most beautiful waterfall. Located in the Singaraja region, about 66 kilometers north of Ubud, this tucked-away tourist attraction is actually a series of about 7 falls, cascading like long misty veils over the lip of a lush, jungle-clad cliff. Note that if you choose to drive yourself here, locals might try and stop you well before the entrance, demanding exorbitant entrance and parking fees. It's a good idea to hire a local guide who knows how to negotiate these roadblocks and access the correct trailhead to the falls. The 3 to 4 hour round-trip trek passes by rice terraces and local villages rimmed with rambutan and durian trees, and continues through dense tropical jungle. It can be strenuous in parts, as you need to hike down slippery steps and slosh through a river, but once you arrive, you can cool off with a refreshing swim at the base of the falls. This is a great adventure for nature lovers who want a taste of wild Bali far from the touristy resorts. Monkey Forest in Ubud. This popular sanctuary is a must-see, luscious greenery, ancient temples, and of course, adorable, cheeky monkeys. There are few places in the world where you can see an abundance of animals in their natural environment. Ubud Monkey Forest is a unique opportunity to see these primates interact with each other, eat, groom, fight, and play in their original habitat. You can also find over 115 different species of trees, looming over the park and creating a mystical, jungle oasis. Some of the trees are considered holy by the locals and are used in various Balinese spiritual rituals. Morning time is always an ideal time to go, as the weather is much cooler and more comfortable. They are fed 3 times a day, and if you go towards feeding times, they can be less aggressive, as they're mostly busy eating. Diamond Beach. Diamond Beach is an untouched, white sand, and silky blue water bay on the eastern tip of Nusa Penida. The view from the top on Diamond Beach is one directly from the postcards. A stunning white beach, silky blue water, limestones, and palm trees are creating a dream destination. Diamond Beach is without a doubt one of the things you must do on Bali. You can walk up to a small building where you find a viewpoint overlooking the beach. The viewpoint is an easy 5-minute walk from the parking area. Visiting the beach wasn't possible until late 2018. With the new stairs, carved out of the limestone, you can now get down to the beach in 20 minutes. Kelingking, Nusa Penida. Nusa Penida owns some mind-blowing views and natural beauties. Visiting Kelingking on a Nusa Penida trip is a must-do on your Bali round. A 40-minute boat ride from the Sunur Harbour will take you to the most impressive views you will have around Bali. Kelingking Beach is one of the most famous spots of Nusa Penida. Major travel sites use its photo to advertise Bali and even sometimes Indonesia. The place is indeed very spectacular and really amazing. The rock of Kelingking Beach looks a little like the backbone of a dinosaur that would drink in the sea. And by the way, on Google Map the bay is called Terraces Bay. If you are lucky you may even see manta rays from the top of the cliff. The main attraction at Kelingking Beach is the viewpoint from the top of the cliff. If you decide to go down to the beach, and I encourage you to do it, be careful hiking down the cliff. Take some water to avoid getting dehydrated. Wear a hat to avoid sunstroke. And above all, take good shoes. Surfing in Bali. No matter if it is your first time or you are a real skilled surfer, Bali is surfing. Kuta for beginners and loads of other spots like Uluwatu or Canggu for the more experienced surfers. To the beginners out there, grab a surfboard, find an instructor on the beach and you are ready to go. Surfing in Bali is one of the scenes that helped develop tourism on the island. It started along the island's southern shores, where rolling waves and quiet, beautiful beaches evolved into the popular wave riders' playgrounds we know today. The island's first wave riders discovered the incredible surf back in the 1930s, and more have flown in ever since. Bali's surfer crowd comprises experienced riders and beginners who want a piece of the action. Pros can head to the outer reef breaks of the southern Bukit Peninsula, while newbies can try smaller waves in the lagoons. Bali is a great place to pick up the sport, with board rentals and surf schools widely available. Indulge in the flavors of Bali. After a long day of exploring some of the best things to do in Bali, you'll probably be starving. Bali has certain foods that you can find in other parts of Indonesia, but it can be very different. The main difference between Indonesian and Balinese food is the ingredients and spices that are used to prepare the dishes. There is a large population of Muslims in Indonesia but not in Bali. Since Muslims cannot eat pork, you will see more pork dishes in Bali. There are so many foods you must eat in Bali, from traditional and authentic dishes you must try along with some street foods and desserts. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and keep traveling.